Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast, where we empower you in your now and lead the change you want to see in yourself and others. Without further ado, here to serve you, your host, Mr. Steve Robinson.
Welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast. I am your host, Steve Robinson, and as always, I am super duper grateful beyond measure for all of you who listen, who share, who like. Please continue to listen. Please continue to share. Please continue to like, email, leave a comment. It all helps. It helps me. It helps the things that I'm trying to do. It lets me know what I need to do to get better. I really, truly appreciate it. However you are listening to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast, whether it be SoundCloud, iTunes, Spreaker, thank you. Continue to do so. Continue to share. Continue to let other people know. And we'll roll right into today's topic. Today is October the 13th. We are already halfway through October. It's like 2 months left. I guess it's time for all the Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of those things to start coming through and everything else that you want to get done before this year is over. And speaking of which, that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Like, the time is almost up for this year. You know, you said starting into this new year, it was going to be a new you or new things that you were trying to do and new things you were working on. And after talking to a couple people, just about life, and it's like, you know, it's good to be positive. That's great, a positive attitude, but what do you do when nothing is going your way? Like, what do you do when nothing is happening for you? You're trying to do everything right, as right as you can do. You're whether it be, you know, in your relationship, in your finances, in your business, in the career, just in life. Like, what do you do when nothing is seeming to be, no favor is coming towards you? Nothing is happening in your favor. And it can feel like that sometimes. And all the positive stuff in the world and all of the encouragement in the world, sometimes it's just like that. Yeah, that's good, but what do I do when nothing seems to be going right for me? You know, if you're working on a goal, like I said, the relationship, and it's like nothing is moving, everything has came to a stop. Well, today what I want to do for the lead changing community is just give you a couple pointers, give you a couple insight, couple nuggets to take with you and use for yourself. I know how it can be when there's you apply for a job and there's no response for the job application, no feedback, or maybe you're in a relationship and you're trying to make the relationship go right, and maybe somebody's living in the past, the things that you've already done, or something that didn't go right, and that keeps coming up. Or, you know, you have a business. I know what it's like when you're trying to land new contracts and you're going out and you feel like you got it and things are and then nothing happens. And it's like, man, what do you do when you have those stale moments, those silent moments of nothing happening in your favor? I mean, you're trying to save money. No money can be saved. You're trying, maybe even your health goals, you're trying to eat right. Well, you got to buy the food to eat right. And it's like, okay, I'm eating right, but nothing is happening. What do you do when nothing is going right? Frustration and doubt sets in. You've been doing it, and now the frustration has come in to like, nothing is happening for me. The doubt sets in of you know, nothing's going to go right. And what will happen is you'll start to think about all the things you may have done wrong. And so you'll start blaming yourself as well, that's the karma coming back. Or maybe that's why it's not going right for me, because of something that I've done wrong before. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I could talk positive, and I will continue to talk positive. I will continue to try to empower you from your now. That is my goal. That is my job. But listen, life is not easy. No matter how positive you get, life is not easy. You know, it doesn't get easy. What you can do is you learn to manage. Life's not going to get easy. Even when things are going right, things start going better, things can still happen. And it's just you learn to manage, whether it's going low or whether your life is low or whether your life is high. You learn to manage, but you learn how to manage better in your lower points of life. So when you get to the high, it's almost like a smooth sailing, but you got to work on managing the lower ends. Everyone has a bad day. Understand, everyone will have a bad day. You'll have a bad week. You'll have a bad year. Those can happen. I mean, some people, it goes on. It continues to go no matter what happens. Time is going to go. You can't control it. You can't stop the time. And you can't stay in the same spot. So some things that you could do is first and foremost, we got to stop complaining. We got to stop complaining now, because we'll get up and nothing happened today that you wanted to happen, or maybe you felt should have happened, and there's nothing else to do but you complain. You'll complain about, why is this not happening? Or this isn't happening because this. You got to stop the complaining. Complaining builds up a snowball that continues to go, that continues to grow. Don't think of your problems as a problem. Look at your problem as just something I have to learn. Looking for, say you're looking for work. For example, you're looking for work and nothing happened when you went out the first week. Maybe you didn't get a call back. Maybe no one responded. So it's like, okay, what to do now? I mean, no one's wanting to hire, or nobody's hiring at this time. No, to stop the complaining part. Change the mindset is, okay, it didn't happen today, but you know what? I'm going to put in 2 more. If I put in 1 today, I'm going to put in 2 tomorrow. If I put in 2 tomorrow, I'll put in 3 the next day. I'm going to keep going and keep the same positive attitude of saying something is going to happen versus nothing is happening right for me. If you don't have the force against you, how will you grow? Like, sometimes something has to be coming against you in order for you to grow. If you're comfortable with what you're doing, then you're going to stay the same. But when things start to happen that is like different from what you're used to, that's when it causes you to grow. So that force can cause you to grow that's coming against you. And then what can you learn from the situation? Begin to look at any opportunity as something that I can learn. Now, your happiness or lack of is completely on you. Now, I believe totally, my happiness each day will be determined by me. Now, yes, my son, my wife, my daughter, my friends, family, business, anything can happen. But how I choose to address it is going to be on me. I can say, you know what, it's going to be okay, and go from there. Does it happen every time? No. Sometimes you have to do a self-check. Like, something can go wrong, and at the initial reaction is like, dang it. But then, you got to try to begin to think first. Think first. When you first get the news, when you first get the reply, or you don't get it, think first is, how do I want to look at this? And when you ask yourself, how do I want to look at this situation, automatically it changes the whole game versus just reacting. And say, okay, well, someone called, or the email said, okay, we decided not to go with you with this contract, at this time. We thank you. First thing you can do is you can start snapping, or you can go into a rage, or you can get upset, or it's like, okay, what can I learn from this? Maybe the next time, or even ask them, is there something else that I could do better, or something else that I can change? Look for an opportunity to learn something, And another thing that you have to do, this happens a lot, and it happens more when we feel like things are not going our way, or when we feel like we're on our low end of what's going on with us than others. We compare ourselves to others. Stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself. And like I said, it mainly happens in bad times. It's like, okay, when you don't have no money and everybody around you, it's like you're looking at everybody around you thinking they got money. Okay, it's like their business is doing good. And then when your relationship is going bad, that's when you got these goals. That's when people put these memes up of relationship goals or marriage goals. You put the picture of the president and Mrs. Obama up, and it's like relationship goals. Or I see a lot of the Jay-Z and Beyonce. You don't know what's going on behind people's closed doors. You don't know if you want to have that goal, but you really only pay attention to it when you're in your lowest of lows. So stop comparing yourselves to others. When you compare, you'll begin to set yourself in another downward spiral of negativity. And a lot of that comes with social media. Yes, indeed, social media. When you don't feel like you have enough clothes, or you don't have the outfit you want, every outfit you see on Facebook and Instagram looks great. Every show that you watch on TV is looking good. Everybody who has a business, their business look like it's thriving. Everyone who has a car, it looks like their car is the best and yours is the worst. And it's because you need maybe a brake change, or you need to to get a new car, or you need to, your car is on this last leg, but because you're in your situation, you'll start that comparison real heavy, and you're always looking at other people. And you have to learn to, listen, be grateful. Be grateful. And if you're going to compare to people who's doing worse. Okay, you might say, well, my car is barely making it. I need new tires. I need new brakes. I need oil change. I need a new car. But you know what? You can ride by somebody that you see that they're walking. If you're going to compare to somebody who's doing worse than you. If you have to compare, look at the people who's even less fortunate. You may say, well, I want this type of house. Well, you want to compare something, compare to the person who just lost their house in a flood. If you're going to compare the relationship, you want to compare my relationship, compare to the person whose relationship ended because of, something tragic. And don't compare yours. Be grateful. Be grateful for today and all that you have today. And I always say, thank you for enough to manage today. Thank you for enough to get through for today. I can go through today with what you eat, what you drink, what you have. Be grateful for right now, because someone, you say, well, I didn't have this for dinner, or I'm working on eating healthy and I didn't have all these healthy meals. Well, you might not have had, somebody didn't have a meal at all. Somebody didn't get to have a meal at all. And focus on your now. Focus on right now, what you can do right now. Okay, this didn't work. Okay, what else can I do? That I was turned away from, I was told no for this, then what else can I do? What else can I work on? Believe, have faith. It will change. Believe that it'll change. Because believing that it won't change is not helping anything. So believe that it will change. And it will. When things go bad, you know what? You think it's no way out. I don't have a way out. My partner, a friend of mine, who's a business coach, he loves to say a lot of times about how things, when people are going through different stuff, how their mindset is and what they'll do. And you just begin to look at everything negative. So you just stop doing, and you just build even more negative. And one of my best friends, Coach Jackson, Cornelius Jackson, who's a basketball coach up at Cleveland State University, he loves to say that, tough times won't last, but tough people do. He loves to use that quote all the time, that tough people, tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that's very important to think about it. Tough times don't last. Think about the last time that you thought was the worst time. Think about the last time that you thought you weren't going to make it, but you made it. So you have to be the tough people to do. Now, all of this sounds great when you're not in it, but when you're in the middle of it, it's like, man, okay, that sounds good, but I'm going through it right now. So you have to learn, learning from your failure, learning from the failure. Okay, if I made a mistake, it's like, if you haven't failed, you haven't tried. It's just pretty much, if you haven't failed, you haven't tried. If I get the master, I look at it like this. If I can get a master's degree in failing, then I'll get a PhD in success. That's just how I look at what I'm doing. If I get a master's degree in failing at the stuff that I do, I'll get a PhD in success. So I'm okay with that. And then don't get emotionally attached to your desires. Don't get emotionally attached to it. Okay. So example of that, saying I want this new house, or I want to get this great. I get so emotionally attached to having something that when you get so attached to something and it doesn't happen, that emotions will put you into the worst negative attitude there is. And here's what the problem is. Once you get so emotionally attached to a desire, the emotions getting so involved and it doesn't come through, then what you do is you begin to take that out on everything and everybody around you. You will find out that you will be arguing with your spouse, your partner. You will be arguing with the kids. You will be mad at people. You'll be mad at the mailman for delivering mail, and he ain't have nothing to do with what your desires for having another car or another house or another job or another relationship. He ain't had nothing to do with that. But you will find yourself mad at everyone else when you get so emotionally attached to the things that's going on around you. And before you can do anything else, well, you got to change you. To start it, when you feel like nothing is going your way and nothing is happening, the very first thing that must change is you. Plain and simple. The very first thing that has to change, that change has to start with you. Ernest Hemingway has said, there is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. That's changing you. The only thing I need to worry about changing before I can change anything in this world is I have to change Steve first. Change starts with Steve. I have to start changing things about me before I can help change things that go on outside of me. Everything that's going on around me, how I look at it, everything that's going on outside of me, it can be rough and bad and tough, and things are going on real bad. Yes, nothing's going right. But how I view the inside of me, what's going on the inside of me is a reflection of what's happening outside of me. So if I feel good about myself, I feel positive that each day that I get up, I'm blessed. Each day that I get up, I have a new chance to make it. Each day that I get up, even though things didn't go right, I have another opportunity to go get it. Then I want to look at everything else that's going on outside of me the same way. Hey, you know what? Okay, that contract didn't come through. Maybe this speaking engagement didn't happen. Maybe no one downloaded the podcast today. But you know what? I'm going to keep going because I feel good about what I'm doing. I feel good about adding value to someone. It's going to help someone get to where they need to go. So you have to change yourself first. You understand, if you keep doing the things that you were doing, you're going to keep getting whatever it is you were getting. And that's all the way around. So if your mindset towards the failure you have was negativity, guess what's coming? More negative. If you talk negative, if you respond to negative, guess what's going to happen? More negative. And the thing about it is, you can't control the way that the negativity comes, just like the same way with positive. You keep positive vibes will come into you. Positive things are happening around you. Great things are happening around you. You'll be amazed that once you just have a great attitude of something great is going to happen. I say it all the time. Something great is going to happen today. Something great is going to happen today. Like I said before, my son asked me, well, what's going to happen? I don't know, but something great is going to happen today. You just keep saying it. You'll find out that maybe somebody ordered a book that I didn't know that they ordered, or somebody sent an email that I didn't check my emails, and it's an email about an upcoming speaking engagement, and they would like me to come speak. Or someone, it's just like a partner of mine called me, said his friend had my book and she had sent him a quote out of the book that it helped her get through her day. This is somebody I don't even really know. Those are the things that happen because you keep positive around you. So continue with this thing. If negative attracts the negative, and the positive is going to attract the positive. It's all about what you want to do. And I talked about making, the most out of small wins in the last episode, about how important you giving attention to small wins. Hey, I'm going to say it again. Grab the small wins. The small things, the small wins that you get them. Keep getting them. Keep getting them. That's the momentum. That's the momentum. That's how you start changing the things. When like, oh, nothing is going right for me. Nothing is happening right for me. I didn't get this, but you know what? You did wake up this morning. So that's a marvelous thing. Try not waking up tomorrow. That's a marvelous thing. I was able to get up this morning. Okay. I was able to, to be able to put clothes. I do have the opportunity to apply for another job. I do have the opportunity to bid on another contract. I do have an opportunity to create another podcast. I do have the opportunity to hug my family. I do have, no matter what they've done, I do have the opportunity to give them a call, give them a hug, tell someone you love them, tell someone have a great day. I do have the chance to put a smile on someone else. If you can make someone else smile today, that is a big step in building the small wins to keep growing. So focus on the joy that you have, not the misery, and take action. Take action in the things that you want to do. And with that said, I'm going to end this as I always do. I thank you for listening. And I'm going to give you the blueprint, just like the book. My book is Prayer, Patience, Progress, in that order. Prayer, Patience, Progress, in that order. I thank you again for listening. Please share. Please like. Continue to fall back and continue to come back and listen again at everything that we do. And like I said, just let me know how it's feeling, how it helps you to feel, how it helps someone else. Share it with someone else. You don't know. Someone else may feel like they're not making it. Even if everything is going right for you, someone else may feel like, you know what, nothing is going right for me. Hey, share this podcast with them. And with that said, like I said, thank you again. I'm out. Prayer, patience, progress. That is the blueprint in that order. Have a super day.